Hey guys, this is Stephanie Weaver from Art for Paws. I want to take some time with you this morning and talk a little bit about a certificate of authenticity, what it is, and why it's important. So this is a little piece of documentation that I've included with my original paintings for the last couple years, but I've been painting for over 17 years now, and I didn't always do it, and I've got a lot of paintings floating out there that probably do not have certificate of authenticity. So it's important for you guys too, okay? What a certificate of authenticity does, and I've got an example here, but I'm not going to show it because I don't want people copying what I have, okay? So it says the artist's name, which is me, the title of the piece, which could be your animal or whatever I named it based on the feelings and what I kind of want to portray, when it was created, the size, and the medium. Then it also has language on there that says all copyrights and reproduction rights are retained by the artist Stephanie Weaver. This artwork may not be reproduced by any process without the express written permission of the artist. It has my signature and date, my name, address, email, phone number, website, and Facebook page. And then it also has my trademark logo on it. So it's important to keep this for a couple reasons. One is it says who has the copyrights, and if you want copies of it, you want me to make cards, you want me to make a calendar, whatever, I can do that. We can talk about licensing. It's not a problem. Been there, done that. Not a problem. But what it also says is when I created it and that it is mine. And why this is important is because I'm only 40-something years old, and at some point I'm gonna die. And although I'm planning on living for like another 40, 50 years, at some point you may need to prove that this is a Stephanie Weaver original and what the value is. It may not even be you, but it may be one of your heirs. So you want to keep the certificate of authenticity, and you want to keep the bill of sales. So much of my transactions are done through PayPal. So that's a great way to do a bill of sale. I mean, you also have your bank accounts, you've got your credit card. However you paid me, you'll be able to get that documentation, okay? So you want to keep those two things together. Now, why do you want to do this? Like I said, at some point, I'm probably going to die. It's not probably, it's inevitable. And when I came across a couple cases like J.S. Lowry, Renoir, and Monet. And J.S. Lowry, he had a style that was very easily reproduced and very easily copied. So he had lots of copycats out there, and they would take his copies and sell them for thousands and thousands of dollars. So lots of people were duped. And when this one particular person came across 3 of his originals, they had to prove and go through this sleuthing process to evaluate whether they actually were originals. And I mean, they went down to the elemental detail of going into the painting to see what elements, like chromium, cadmium, zinc, titanium, what was actually in there and used in the pigment at that time and period based on what he said were the pigments that he used. And so anyway, they eventually sleuthed it down to where he did paint these paintings, and they looked at old pictures, they looked at films and everything. So that case worked out really well. I mean, they were able to figure it out. In the case of the Renoir piece, he didn't sign it. They even went down to elemental detail, and they were able to see that yes, they were using the same pigments. Renoir actually wrote down the pigments that he was using, and they went piece by piece, and they were able to see that those were the same pigments. But then you had one art house that said yes, it's an original. You had another art house that said no, it's not. And because this one that said no, who was in competition with the other one, said it was no, the painting's worthless, and they couldn't sell it for $300,000. That's why it's very, very important to get documentation, keep it, and that's where I kind of come to this final piece of what I'm hoping to do for you guys. Like I said, there was about 15 years where I didn't do certificate of authenticities. I know I have a lot of paintings floating out there, and my paintings are increasing in value, which is great. It means you guys are giving me rounds of applause and loving my work, which is fabulous. So I want to make sure that when I do die, that the legacy can continue and that you and your heritage, your lineage gets value in what I had to offer. So if you have an original painting of mine that does not have a certificate of authenticity, it's a hard word to say, then contact me at artforpaws@gmail.com. That's artforpaws@gmail.com. And number one, I'll make sure it's mine. And number two, I'll give you a certificate of authenticity with an estimate of when I actually created it based on some documentation that I have. And I think that's all I had to say today. If you have any questions, just feel free to ping me on Facebook or artforpaws@gmail.com. And I hope this was helpful. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.